Hey everybody, ThrewRedbutter here, back again with another beer review coming at you today with a beer from Maine Beer Company out of Freeport, Maine. It is a double IPA coming in, 8.2% alcohol by volume. Not much info on the bottle itself. The Untapped description says it's double dry hopped with over 6 pounds of hops per barrel. This is the Maine Beer Company Dinner Double IPA. I believe they used to hype it up as their first ever double IPA. And back in the day, you had to wait like overnight at midnight, or it was a ticketed lottery system. Pretty crazy. I think it's available regularly now. I'm not sure if it's year-round, but pretty regular. But I do remember when this first came out, it was hyped to the moon. There we go, right there. And pretty fresh bottle, bottled July 2nd. Today is the 19th, so very good there. So the appearance on the Maine Beer Dinner pours out a pretty hazy, light orange, brilliant orange in color. Got a lot of carbonation bubbles, actually, all throughout the body on that one. As you can see, the pour produced a lovely 2 fingers of relatively fluffy, not the most dense head I've seen on an IPA, double IPA, but pretty fluffy and bubbly, almost like dish soap, bright white in color. Actually, looks like it's going to retain pretty well. Let's get an aroma on dinner. Man, just bright citrus and orange on this one. Wow. Good amount of hop bitterness on the back end, but it is just bright and citrusy. Yeah, it smells really nice and fresh. Before going any further, big shout out to my boy Big Woobs. Was up there in Maine over this past week. Brought me back a couple bottles in your debt, buddy. So let's get a taste on dinner. Cheers. Incredible amount of bitterness on the taste, but deliciously so. It was very subtle on the nose, but on the taste, it is the first thing. The nose, the oranges, and the citrus were the first thing, and bitterness was kind of on the back end. This is just all bitterness up front, but really, really fresh bitter hops. And then right behind that, there's the citrus. Oh, and it has that great, like, sherbet orange cream flavor to it. Oh, this one's firing on all cylinders. Even a touch of grass and flowers and potpourri. But again, back bitterness on the back end, on the finish, and more of that orange cream and sherbet. Body is nice and full. Comes in a tad thin, but not too much. 8.2% double IPA. Fuller body was expected, but I'm perfectly fine with this. Just pointing it out, we're just nitpicking at this point. No alcohol flavor at all. As you can see, as I'm just bulldozing through the beer, super drinkable, even though it is so incredibly deliciously bitter. Bitter up front and bitter on the back. But again, just crushable. 8.2% crushable double IPA. Wow. All right, that's right. Final score, final verdict, final rating on the Maine Beer Company Dinner Double IPA, 8.2% alcohol by volume. Does it bring back memories of many years ago when the hype was real? Does it still live up to the hype? Is it still as good as you remember? I'm not sure what I remember. What I do know is this is a stellar double IPA. Wow. Man, if you live in the area, if you live all the way up there in Freeport, you got to get this. This still hangs there with the big boys of today. It's not this super haze boy, murky, filthy IPA with hops you got to scrape off the back of your teeth. It hits all the characteristics of bitter IPAs, citrus IPAs, flowery, grass. It just hits so many points, but it's also super drinkable. Man, like it is. I'm not sure I want to say balanced and throw around that term too loosely, but it is so complex. I'll throw that out there, but it hits everything you want in so many different tasting double IPAs, but it's all in one, and it's not a mess. It is a beautiful, cohesive unit. So I think for, man, maybe that reason, again, I'll have a double IPA that's all bitterness or all citrus, perfectly fine, but just the fact that it just checks off every single box and it's pretty much done. This is almost pretty much a perfect IPA, double IPA. Wow, I'm gonna do it. Breaking out the rare score. Bang the gong, drop the balloons. Maine beer dinner. Perfect 10 out of 10. This is a perfect double IPA, and I don't say that lightly. Amazing beer. So 10 out of 10. Maine beer dinner. Perfect beer. That's going to do it for me, Through Red Butter. Till next time. Stay perfect.